America has a drug problem. America has a problem with overcrowding in its prison systems. According to the NAACP, there's over 2.3 million Americans locked up in this country today. Of those 2.3 million, over 600,000 are in prison for nonviolent drug crime offenses. Something's wrong with our criminal justice system. Something has to change. Do violent criminals deserve prison? Absolutely. Do sex offenders deserve prison? Without a doubt. But do individuals like you, like me, but who struggle with addiction issues, do they deserve prison? No. They deserve help. Nonviolent drug crime offenders deserve rehabilitation. They deserve rehabilitation because 1, rehabilitation is cost effective. 2, rehabilitation reduces recidivism rates. And 3, rehabilitation solves the core problem, which is the addiction. Now I'll explain my first point, which is rehabilitation is cost effective. The Honorable Judge Theo Nixon of the Mecklenburg County Court District stated in a letter to the North Carolina Bar Association that it costs approximately $30,000 to house one inmate in our prison system for 1 year. Now let's consider the 600,000 nonviolent drug crime offenders that are in prison. Total yearly cost, that's $18 billion. That's $18 billion that me and you pay in our taxes to house these nonviolent offenders. Also, Editor Bill Smith of the New Hampshire Union Leader, he said that it costs $8,000 to take these same offenders and put them through a drug and alcohol treatment facility. Now, doing the same math, that 18 million drops significantly to 4.8 billion. Now, I'm not saying that every offender is eligible for these programs, but I think you see my point on how these programs are cost effective. And that is why rehabilitation is cost effective. Now, on to my second point. My second point is rehabilitation reduces the rates of recidivism. When I say recidivism, what I mean is the chance that somebody's going to repeat their crime and return to jail. Nyla Nadigeron, a researcher and writer for the Justice Policy Institute in Washington, D.C., she reported that intensive supervised treatment programs have been shown to reduce recidivism rates by 45% when compared to offenders that spend their entire sentence in jail. Her research revealed that within 3 years of being released from prison, 40 to 60% of those offenders repeated their crime and found themselves in prison once again. Comparatively, after 1 year of graduation from a drug treatment facility, those graduates, their recidivism rate was as low as 16.7%. That means of them, only 16.7 out of 100 ended up repeating their crimes and returning to jail. Also, Hilmer Rika, a reporter from the Sunday Star Times, even goes as far as to report that there are several judges within the Department of Corrections itself that's very frustrated that rehabilitation is not giving more of a chance when it comes to sentencing offenders. And that is why rehabilitation reduces recidivism rates, my second point. Now on to my third point, and that is rehabilitation gets to the core problem, and that core problem is addiction. I have a member in my family that I'm very close to. She struggled with alcohol and drug addiction her entire life. Had her first DUI, went to jail for a weekend, got out, went back to drinking and using drugs just like nothing happened. Got her second DUI. Second weekend in jail, second time reverting back to previous behaviors. Got a third DUI. Third DUI, she was facing some more serious jail time. She had to sit 6 months in a county jail. Got out, was on probation for a year, which she did fairly well. But as soon as the supervision ended, the sobriety ended. She got her fourth DUI. Before she was even sentenced for her fourth DUI, she got a fifth DUI. She was now facing 6 years in prison. Somebody was obviously looking out for her above, because she was offered an opportunity to join a drug court program, which she readily accepted. She entered the program, did 3 months in jail, immediately transferred to an intensive drug and alcohol treatment facility, where she was at for 2 months, released from that, and she did daily appointments with various counselors, with AA members, and with the drug court board. Now that's just one example to go to show my third point, that rehabilitation gets to the core problem. The core problem is the addiction. So today I've told you how prison time is not the answer to fixing America's drug problem. Nonviolent drug crime offenders deserve rehabilitation. Now you may think that rehabilitation is not a harsh enough punishment for the crime done, but you must admit that it is time to start doing what is effective, not just what finishes our sense of justice. Rehabilitation for nonviolent drug crime offenders is necessary for reason 1, rehabilitation is cost effective, for reason 2, rehabilitation reduces recidivism rates, and for 3, rehabilitation gets to the core problem, which is addiction. Thank you. 2 cards.
That was great.